Right, you get a couple pieces back today. How does that impact your lineup tonight?
Yeah, if Bo looks like he's good to go, Christie would draw out, and Jack will go in, and we sent Richie back yesterday, so Jet Greaves will be in that tonight.
And the decision to start Jet, where does that come from?
He's earned it. He's played really well down there. He's put a real good stretch of hockey, and so, it just worked out. I believe he's from here, and the whole thing, it wasn't calculated like that, but that's how it worked out. So just get him rewarded for what he's done.
Yeah, and the fact that he is from here, that's an extra bonus for him.
Yeah, it's an expensive night, I think. Yeah. I don't know. You ask him if it's a bonus or not. I'd be playing for free.
It's been so much excitement when Johnny signed with you guys, and there's been so many injuries. The season hasn't gone, I'm sure, the way you guys envisioned. But what have stood out to you about how the group has handled all of this?
So they've hung in there. I'll tell you what. It's we were looking at our lineup all year long, and just when you get a bit healthy, it was like we lost 5 guys in 2 days. Again, coming down the stretch here, and a few more guys. So, it's just been one of those seasons where you just couldn't get any footing, and it started right out of camp and coming into our first game. So, they've done a good job of handling, pushing down the stretch here. We have a tough game against Florida. They're a real good hockey team, and we were chasing it all night. And we rebounded against Ottawa, and Ottawa's a team that was fighting to get in. So. You love to compete, the effort, the guys that keep putting the effort in here, and there's a lot of guys getting a lot of experience right now. We're a very young team and very inexperienced in some positions, but they're giving it, and that's all we can ask.
What about for yourself, having to go through this and sort of manage all the pieces in and out of the lineup?
Yep.
With a season that's again not going the way you guys.
To be honest, about halfway through, I was so frustrated and quite just pissed off, and it got me nowhere, right? And you have to go. Really the other way, and you get distracted. And so these circumstances happen all the time. And so we kind of reset and went back, and the guys that are in the lineup, they're pushing. And so once you got over the frustration, it's a challenging year. And in so many ways, of course, we had higher expectations, and what we dealt with, I think, we've learned a lot of lessons from coaching staff to players. To everybody that just going through this, how hard it is. It's a hard league anyway. To go through it on this side, it was real tough.
What will your young defensemen learn on a night like this against the Leafs and the talent they have up front?
Well, I think we played a similar style in Florida. They're big-bodied, fast. You're going against an elite offense here with Matthews and Tavares and Marner and company. So. Gap control, your one-on-ones, puck management, the simple, easy play, you got to make it. You start getting hemmed in and get stuck in your zone, it's going to be a long night. So there's all these things. Now, what have they learned? They haven't learned anything yet. They haven't played. So they're going to go play it tonight, and then they're going to feel it. And that's the best way to learn.
By the same token, with Jet, rookie goaltender getting his first start in this environment, do you anticipate some nerves and just let him kind of work through those on his own? Yeah? Yeah,
well, he has no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all behind him. But anybody who says they don't have nerves their first game, I would say they're a liar, because it doesn't matter, what the circumstance is. I know it's bigger because it's his hometown, but you're going to have butterflies, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's good. But for our guys, put in the work in front of them, help them out, try and let them see a few shots here early and let them settle in. That would be the best formula for them.
Start with the most obvious one, Jet. It's just how you're feeling about this opportunity tonight.
Good. I'm excited. I mean, anytime I get to play hockey, I'm a happy guy.
But you're in your hometown. What does that add to it for you?
Yeah, I think it's really special to be able to play here. I think anytime I get the opportunity to come home and play in Canada, get the Canadian air, it's always a little bit more special.
How many games did you watch here as a kid, if any? I assume a lot?
Yeah, a lot. I was here a few times for sure, and then every Leafs game's on TV in Canada growing up. Everyone's talking about the Leafs, so definitely familiar with it.
What are you anticipating here in terms of the move up from the A and what you might face here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's the best league in the world. There's a lot of skilled players, and of course, in this team, there's a lot of skilled players. But for me, I think it's just about continuing to be me and just play my game and really just trust myself and just compete and try to help us win a hockey game.
What were some of the goalies you looked up to back in the day when you grew up?
I was always a big fan of Anderson. When he came in here, I always liked his game, just kind of his calmness and just the poise that he had. So I think he was the guy that I loved to follow, kind of going in Toronto, and then some other guys around the league, but for sure Fred was the guy I was a big fan of.
Did you have a favorite fan moment growing up?
You know what, actually, there was a game I must have been 13, 14 maybe, and I came to a game here. I remember Fred was playing, and I was with my buddies. We were watching in warm-up, and I had this weird experience. I was like, I would love to play here one day. I'd love to be in the NHL. So I was just kind of like, maybe one day. So to be here now is really special.
Expensive night. Ticket front, family and friends.
Yeah, there might be a lot here. I don't know. My parents are kind of. I said, I'll make sure you guys are set up, and then you guys figure out the rest. So we'll see how much that costs me the back end.
What are your parents' names?
Brenda Greaves and Jerry Greaves.
Are they nervous parents? Like, what is it going to be like for them tonight?
I think they'll enjoy it. I mean, my mom, she's usually pretty quiet during the games. She kind of just sits to herself. My dad's kind of like any hockey parent. He's into the game. He's passionate about it. But I think they'll both be all right.
How did you learn the news? Like, how did you find out you were going to play this game?
We had played in Cleveland on Sunday. We played a 12 o'clock game there, and then after the game, our whole staff brought me in, and they told me I was going to be called up, and it was just a little bit of a different conversation. They didn't necessarily say if I was going to play or not, but it was a different conversation. Usually for the call-ups, it's not the full staff telling you. So when it was the full staff, I figured it might be a little something different this time.
Jet, how often have your parents had a chance to see you play?
I mean, of course, all the time growing up, and then since I've turned pro, they've been to 10 games around there when they can, for sure. It's not too far of a trip from Cambridge to Cleveland, and then they watch every game on TV, so they don't miss one.
So your first NHL game, you'll face the two-time Rocket Richard Trophy winner. Like, what's it going to be like to face Austin Matthews' shots tonight?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think that's kind of what you live for, and that's what you play for, is to play against the best players in the world. So for me, I'm excited about that opportunity for sure.
You watch video? Like, what stands out, I guess, about him?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously growing up in Toronto, you're familiar with his game. I mean, obviously he's got one of the best shots in the world, really talented player. And I mean, there's a lot of talented players in this team. So I think for me, it's just kind of continuing to trust myself and just play my game.
Jet, can you give us the Jet story one more time?
Yes, so my dad was a Taekwondo fighter. So he was always a fan of the martial artist Jet Li. So it came from there. And then my parents just kind of love that name, and it's kind of always stuck.
Any cool moments at the morning skate here, looking around? Or?
I think every time I'm on the ice is a cool moment, but nothing crazy today.
So since you found out the other day, you had a little bit of time to think about it. How have the nerves been building, or have you been pretty cool about it? Or?
I think it's just kind of like any game. You always kind of have a lot of emotions for any game, excitement, nerves, whatever it is. And I think that's all part of it. I enjoy kind of all those emotions, and I'm just really grateful to be in the moment, just be present, and enjoy the day.
Yeah. How much does it help? A lot of Cleveland guys here, guys you played with throughout the season, you guys you can kind of lean on a little bit. Does it help to have those familiar faces around a little bit?
Yeah, awesome. I think it's always great when you can play just with your friends. We had a nice dinner last night, and I think that's something we're excited about, just to be able to all play together. I mean, we've kind of been separated for a lot of the year, guys up and down, so it's fun to all play together here tonight.
What will this afternoon be like? It'll be tough to, I don't know if you're a napper, but like, what will this afternoon be like?
Just kind of standard, eat a pregame meal, kind of hang out, watch a show, get a little nap, kind of the same stuff as usual.